They drank beer. I mean, I just don't understand how people, maybe he is innocent, but how do you then how do you put that guy on the Supreme Court? I just, mind blown. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts. Yes, we're working on the sound. If you're on Facebook Live, we're going to get that going.
It's all set up now. People should be hearing us, yes?
Oh, good. Are we back with sound?
We're back.
Oh, good. Anyway, AJ, you were here at Podcast Village. We were watching the hearings for Brett Kavanaugh. What did you think?
Well, as a person that went to school with all those kids, like especially in the D.C. area, those all-boys schools.
You went to a private school, right, here in D.C.?
Yeah, all girls, single sex. And I feel like I know those exact kids that he was referring to, that he was, apparently. And like you think he's guilty, I think he's guilty. And when I saw women going against Ford and for Kavanaugh with their shirts, I was like honestly really surprised.
I know not a huge, I got to take that word back. There are some women that are wearing shirts for Kavanaugh. I thought he was unhinged. I thought he was, I can't imagine that you go to a job interview and behave like that. And my thing is like, I always think when I look at situations like this, whether it's Trump or whatever, I'm like, it's so easy to win people over.
Of course.
If he had appeared emotional, how upsetting this had been to his family, how, he felt so terrible for Dr. Ford. He didn't do this. Something may have happened to her, but she has the wrong individual. This has torn him up inside, thinking about this, thinking about other survivors. There wouldn't be an FBI investigation. He was so goddamn unhinged. He was so crazy flipping the pages. I mean, I just could not believe his behavior. And then people are like still defending him. I'm like, are you kidding? This guy completely looks crazy. And he looks guilty.
Yeah, you were like, this guy totally looks like the type of person to do that. But, we can't judge based on that, based on appearance. But I definitely think that everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But I know
he's not
exactly.
Going to jail. This is what drives me nuts.
He's not going to jail.
People always say this. He's not going to jail. It was a job interview. Okay, he shouldn't get the job. That's what it tells you.
It's not a life or death decision. It's literally just he shouldn't get the job. But done.
People think this is some sort of crazy, conspiracy by the Democrats. And I do believe the DNC and the RNC both are corrupt. Both have horrible people working for them. But thank God that they did bring this to a hearing. Now we get to see what Brett Kavanaugh is really like. Anyway, sorry. I'm beginning to sound like I am not a political show at all. I don't care about I do care about politics, but on the day-to-day, I never watch MSNBC. I never watch Fox News. I never watch any of these outlets. I don't give a damn about, politics. I really don't. I really don't. And I loved Bernie Sanders. I want equality for all. I really do. I guess I'm a socialist. So if you aren't into socialism, well.
If you aren't into politics. Are you into politics, Sarah?
No, I'm not into politics at all. I hate politics. I don't give a damn.
Yet we find ourselves talking.
Is there a podcast lobby? That might be the only thing that got me involved. I want to lobby as a podcaster. That's about it.
All right.
Look, you guys are way more intelligent than I am when it comes to politics. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Were you addicted to the Brett Kavanaugh, Dr. Ford hearings? What do you think? Do you think he'll be confirmed? I think he'll probably be confirmed. I naively believe that he won't, but it's probably all happening. So leave your comments. Also, as you guys may be hearing, last night was our third week on Mix 107.3. Mix 107.3 on Sunday nights. I am working on finalizing the deal with them to do the Hey Frase podcast show back to radio. It's airing currently 9 to 11 p.m. AJ is on, and we take all the highlights of this show, but the ones that are really PG.
Only PG, yeah. But
all the ones that are real PG.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. And we've actually started this new segment called AJ on the Street, where AJ goes out and asks a really interesting question that people want to know, and you get their responses. And I got to say, I loved this week's, because this week's was, if you're still following an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend on social media, why are you still following them?
Oh, yeah, this week was so good. And we got some weird answers, but we definitely got some funny ones that I really want to share. And we got some inappropriate ones that I couldn't share on the radio. So we're here to share today.
Okay, so yeah, play me some. What are some of the ones that you got?
All right.
AJ's bringing these up. It was great, by the way. But you know what was funny? Because I went out with you for a little bit of it. Some of the women
I don't follow any. I do check in on the most recent who's local but moved out and continues to visit. And my reason for checking is just if he is in town, I want to avoid wherever he's at.
Okay, I get that. I understand that woman.
Do you follow any of your exes, though?
I really think I only follow my very first boyfriend, Rob Ponto, who we've called, who we put on this podcast. I feel like Rob wants to be on the show. So like
that would be really good.
And he has 3 kids, and he goes camping all the time. So I'm not really sure why I'm like following him, but
really
it
not much
reminds
going
me
on
of
in
my
his
high
feed.
school days when we would just go camping.
I love this girl because she was blatantly honest with us.
To stalk him, obviously. He's up to, doing his own college things and whatnot. I follow like girls who I know that he like hooks up with. No, I don't follow them. I stalk them. And they stalk me. I can see them looking at my Instagram story.
So these are clearly girls in college.
Clearly women in college. No, I
Yeah.
loved it.
It was
Wait,
too
do you
good.
have the guy? Who was the guy? He was really good.
Obviously, who doesn't follow all their exes? Come on. But what I really do is I go into their tag photos to see where they're at. And then that's where I'm like, I see why I'm not dating you anymore.
All right, you sound crazy. That is like a whole nother level of insane.
And that's really it. So apparently
Yikes.
people still follow, and they still follow them to just keep track of like where they are in their lives, and if they're looking hot, not,
Okay.
it's to keep tabs.
But anyway, we got some great answers. So you can tune in every Sunday night, Mix 107.3. I also want to, we're going to get Cindy on here, and we're going to talk about DASH, which is the organization we've partnered with for the month of October. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But I did want to thank everybody that listened last night at Mix, and you guys sent us text messages and tweets. Thank you so much. We'll have more to come on that. Also want to remind you, we do have a few Hey Frase lip shirts left. Lip shirts. Did that say like list shirts?
Lit shirts. No, they're LIP lips with lips on them.
Lips. Yes, we do. If you want one, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Hey Frase. Boom. You'll see the pictures there. Let me know your size. We have small to 2XL because we are body inclusive on this show. And these shirts are pretty loose. So even like if you get a large, but maybe you're a smaller person, they really can tie. They fit really well, don't they?
They're super cute. Yeah. No, they're supposed to be like loose fitting.
So $25, shipping's around $5. You can DM me. We have a few shirts available. Also, a reminder, October 18th, I'm going to be hosting Social Media Week in Fairfax. Social Media Week Fairfax is all about bringing from around the country some of the like-minded and some of the most respected people that are on the forefront of working on social media, entrepreneurship, and your business. They have an incredible list of guests. You can go to socialmediaweekfairfax.com. It's happening in Tyson's Corner. Tickets are $20 to $50. I'm hosting their morning sessions from 8 a.m. until noon. You can go right there, get your ticket. I learned so much last year. If you're looking to expand your business and learning how to advertise your business more online or with new media like podcasting, they are the place to go. Capital One is usually a sponsor, and they always have some innovative ideas. So be sure to check out Social Media Week Fairfax. Okay. I'm so excited to have this woman here, mostly because, one, we have to talk about her sister, and then we got to talk about her. So Cindy is here. She is Leslie Okendo, who is we love, who will go down in history as one of the best people that was ever a part of the Hey Frase podcast. She's so good. Leslie, who is our digital content creator, you are her sister, and you're also a survivor of domestic violence yourself.
That is correct.
So, Cindy, before we start, though, we have to say Leslie has finally made her big announcement about being on. Oh, okay, I can't read any Spanish. This depresses me so much. But Leslie is now on a very, very famous Spanish television show. What is the show?
So it's called Nuestra Belleza Latina. It translates to our Latin beauty. She is, it's kind of equivalent to America's Next Top Model, but like for Latino people.
Okay.
And it basically wants to highlight women for their beauty, but this year in specifically, I can never say that word. Specifically, they want to highlight women with talent, regardless of their size, their height, how they look, their talent, what they bring to TV, because they're looking for a host.
So several months ago, Leslie auditioned for this. She got it. Last night she was on, and her big reveal. And can she do any press now or no? Because she's headed to Miami to be in this. They kind of put all these women together, right? In a home. They sort of. And what do they do? Like challenges every week, or what do they have to do?
Yes, it kind of does. They do challenges every week. Once a week, it's like a gala on Sundays. But then through the week, they have different challenges within themselves, and like they record them and they kind of present some highlights on Sunday. But most importantly, they're educated towards what a TV host should do.
Oh, gotcha.
So they call the NBL University. It's not a mansion like before. It is a mansion, of course, because you need like a lot of space to have all of these girls. But they are calling it university because their goal now is to educate beautiful women to do something that empowers other women. So.
Oh my God. It's so great. And Leslie's big reveal last night on the show was she revealed to the world that she was born intersex.
Correct.
Which she had told us right before she left, and she'd asked us not to say anything.
Right.
And I was so proud of her. And essentially what that means is she was born without a uterus, correct?
Correct. So she was born physically female, but she doesn't have any uterus. And her DNA makeup says XY.
XY.
Instead of XX. Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of her. Like, we were kind of just so emotional when she told us and she was leaving for this show because, you know, she said, obviously, that has been difficult for her whole life. She had revealed last night on the show that your parents never even really told her until she was like 12 years old.
Right. It was a process.
Yeah.
So you cannot, back then with the limitations and perhaps access to information like we had, we have now access to Google and we can learn about everything. But back then, it was just so limited that it was so hard to tell somebody, hey, this is what you have, right? And I kind of feel from my parents that they kind of had to grow her in that time because there was just so much lack of information. It's not as we know now that scientific and science have just kept reading and kept investigating and researching about this, and now like they're finally like feeling like they're being included into like not as this weird thing, it just so happens that during the while they were gestating in the womb, there was just no,
that didn't develop.
Didn't happen. Yeah.
Right. Well, we can't wait to have her on. And tell everybody, the show is on Univision. It's every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Tell me again the name of the show.
Nuestra Belleza Latina.
I know, there's no way.
Sarah, can you try to say that?
Nuestra
Belleza
Latina. Latina.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nuestra Latina. I'll just skip the middle one.
Okay.
So, look, the reason that we're here, I'm so inspired. You have a wonderful family. Of course, we adore Leslie, but you have your own story. And you and I have been talking for the past couple of months about sharing this today on October 1st, which kicks off Domestic Violence Month. So tell me about this. Several years ago, you were married when you were young.
Yes.
You'd gotten divorced and you started dating a guy. And tell us from there what happened.
So it never shows as it is, right? It never starts. Everything is just perfect. Like he's very attentive. He cares for you. He calls you. He makes sure that you're okay, that nothing, you're missing anything. I was here by myself. Of course, I had just gotten through my divorce. My goodness, I can't speak today. I apologize.
I love these Puerto Ricans.
ESL. And he was just very attentive, very caring. Everything that I was lacking from my recovery from my past, he kind of like brought to the table.
Wow.
So it was kind of like a dream, right? Of course, my mom's no best. She was always like, I don't know, there's something weird. It doesn't add up.
So
Yeah,
from the start,
she always had like a gut feeling that something was not completely right.
Wow.
But of course, I had no idea because to me, everything was just cotton candy. I was like, oh, yay, this is so exciting. Like, finally, I feel happy again. And then everybody was in Puerto Rico. I was here by myself.
Okay.
So it was just like my birthday comes and he tells me that he has anger issues, like really bad anger issues. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the first time that we had an argument, he really yelled, like really loud.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that's part of the anger issues. We can work with this. It's okay. It's going to get better. Okay.
Sure.
Then another big event comes and he got really upset because he felt like I was disrespectful to him in some way, which I'm still trying to understand. And he just punched me in the head the moment that we got in the car.
Wow.
And I just stood there like dumbfounded. I was like, what just happened?
Oh my God. I cannot imagine what was going through your head.
Right. So then, because of my history, right, I had been divorced. That's very frowned upon back in Puerto Rico. So, like, I already had a failure. Oh, my God, this guy just hit me. But let me see if things get better because I don't want to be embarrassed again. I don't want to have another failure yet again.
Sure.
So then I kind of kept going, and then it just got worse. So
Wow.
it will always be punches on the face or in the head, slaps and things that in places where people can't see. So if you would grab me, it would be like on my arm, and it would just get worse and worse and worse until one day he just dislocated my arm, punched me so bad that like he bruised my whole right side. He was choking me I had a jacket on, and he pulled it back and it kind of choked me. So then with my arm down,
Yeah.
I didn't even know until the next day because the adrenaline was so high that I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go to Baltimore, run to my friend's house, and then I'm going to see tomorrow what I do. So I go to her house, and she tells me, if you don't call your parents, I will.
Wow.
This is enough. It had been like 3 months of nonstop, like
And how long had you all been dating total?
about 6 months.
6
It
months.
hadn't even been that long.
So the first 3 months were relatively, like you said,
Correct.
living a dream. And then, he reveals to you he has anger issues. And from there, you obviously
Just went
begin to
downhill.
see. Wow.
Yep.
So you notify your parents with your girlfriend that this is going on. What happened then?
So my parents go to Baltimore. They pick me up. They called the pastor who was his father on the way to Baltimore.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was
my
a pastor's
pastor.
son.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately. And they say that, they're too busy. There was a snowstorm going on, so they couldn't leave the house. But then we go to the hospital. Clearly,
Wow. They would not come to the hospital to see you.
No, they wouldn't. But then the police came because they need to file a report because how did that happen to you? You
Wow.
don't dislocate your arm just by waving by. So we press charges and police goes to take him. This is like on the same night. And then the parents wanted to come talk to me.
Wow. What did they say to you?
They were
when he
begging
was-
me basically to retrieve the charges, withdraw the charges. And it was completely out of my hands. It was
Yes,
completely
right.
out of my hands. Is the state versus this person, and now I have nothing to do with it. I was like, I'm sorry, he did this to me. It was not just once, and if I don't say something, somebody else will suffer from it, and he may kill the next victim because he was going to kill me.
You
I
believe
told
that?
him that. Oh yeah,
You knew that?
absolutely, yes.
He was going to kill you.
Yes, he was completely. When abusive people are in that stage that they just black out, they literally black out. Like their face transforms and everything. It's just
Oh my God. It's like
witnessing
another
that
human.
is like, oh my God, what is going on? Yeah, it's another person.
Your family believed you, of course, and was so supportive of you. What happened after this? I mean, did he try to contact you? You hear a lot about stalking, and, we were playing the on the street stories of, well, it's kind of funny, people stay in touch with their ex. But I think one of the scariest parts of girlfriends that I've had that have been in these situations or very close is a lot of times these abusers, it is like, it's hard to get rid of them. They keep trying to contact you. And then of course they say anything to you to take, so you take them back.
Right.
What happened after this process had got going and he was arrested and charges were pressed?
So as soon as we filed the peace order, he couldn't have direct contact with me, and my parents did a very good job at shielding me. So I didn't get anything directly from him. So he would go through friends, right? And friends would be like, oh, such and such is asking how you're doing. Such and such is feeling this way. Until one day I was like, no, I can't keep hearing this. I'm going through my own process. He has to go through his own process, and I can't expose myself to this. There's always paranoia. It was horrible paranoia. I remember that my parents would put like big furniture pieces in front of the door.
Really?
Because they felt like
They
he
were
could
even
come
concerned.
in. Yes. Oh,
Wow.
absolutely. They were like scared that he would come in one
to
day
your
at
house.
night and just blow something up. Yeah. They were scared.
Oh my God. How, and we're going to have the director of Dash come in here too. She deals with men and women in your situation every single day. How many years ago was this now?
Almost 8.
Wow. I've never been in a situation like that, but I do, I've been through grief. I've been through traumatic incidents in life. Does it always stay with you? Or now do you feel like you really are free of it? You don't really think about it day to day?
You are free. You become free from it, but you always have that in the back of your mind.
Wow.
So I would say people that really learn from it, from the victim's side, they learn to identify red flags and then they avoid them. So even during therapy, they tell you, don't forget, like forgive, heal, but don't forget, because then if it happens again, it's a cycle and people have a tendency to go back to abusive relationships because of emotional codependency. So they tell you, just be aware of the red flags, make sure that this and this doesn't happen, what's building up, and just cut things off from the beginning. So you always have that in the back of your heart and mind, and you try to avoid it as much. You can become very defensive and you can push people away.
I bet.
That are really good, well-intended, and really want the best for you and really want to care for you. So that is also a process that you have to go through, healing that, overcoming that, and being able to accept others.
Wow. Can we get, AJ, can you bring Kube in here? I want to just ask you, Cindy, a couple more questions, and then Kube, I'm sure, can talk more about red flags and sort of things that people can look out for. You're married now to a wonderful man.
Absolutely.
So how did you tell him about this? That's just, you're very open and,
oh, yes.
And, you're
just like that. On the first date.
That's a big man that because like you said, it always is with you. So how did your husband take that when you told him?
It was so funny because we went on a first date. I hadn't been in a date in a couple of years. I was just like not wanting anything to do with guys. And then he came along. He slid through my DM. And he apparently had seen me singing in church, and he tried to get a first date for some time, and I kind of like avoided him. I was like, oh, maybe we'll coincide again in another church event, like come see me sing again. And then I finally said yes, and we sat down. Literally, we sat down, and I was, so let me tell you my story.
Really?
Yes.
Like this was like day one?
Yes.
Wow.
This is the first time I'm ever seeing this man in person. He had already seen me because he saw me singing, but I see him, and I was like, I need you to know who I am before you make any decisions, okay? This is my story. And I gave him the whole spiel. And he was just like, okay. And then I asked him, are you ready to run? And he was like, no, I'm up for this. And we're married. We're turning a year in November 2nd. Yay!
Congratulations.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Kube, I wanted to introduce you. Of course, you're here from Dash. The executive director for Dash is Kube Gage. Thank you for being with us. You see men and women every single day here in D.C., and you help those men and women. No situation, no one is left behind, and you want to provide enough financial assistance that they can leave any situation. You heard Cindy kind of talk about her story, and she's one of the lucky ones that survived. But can you tell us a little bit about the red flags as we are starting day one of Domestic Violence Month for the month of October? What are some of the red flags for people?
And I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you so much for your bravery and for being here. And to you, Sarah.
I'm just going to fix this. Talk right directly.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
But Cindy, it is to be able to come on here and tell your story is amazing. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for everything. And you're right. There are red signs. At Dash, District Alliance for Safe Housing, we are the largest safe housing provider for survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse. And the red flags are there, but it's different for everybody. One of the things we say at Dash is, we really strive to meet survivors where they are. And your story is as different as your fingerprint.
Absolutely.
It's just what you experience is going to be completely different from what another person experienced. And, are there similarities? Yes, but everybody comes from a different place. So whether it's, red flags of someone saying something, or anger issues, or emotional abuse, it shows up differently for survivors, and we really strive to meet survivors where they are, to believe them for what they're going through, and to really help them. We're there to be their biggest advocates. We're not going to prescribe any one path. Is that, for a survivor.
Obviously Cindy had a wonderful family that believed her from the start. When people come to Dash, a lot of times do they have family members that don't believe them?
Sometimes they come from backgrounds where people haven't believed them, or it's abuse that happened 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, but they're still going through all of that. And you can, I was talking with one of our housing resource specialists, and the very first thing that we tell survivors when they come to see us at our housing resource clinic is, we believe you, right? And you can physically see people's shoulders relax. Just the simple fact of, you don't have to give me your blood to show that you went through
survived this
domestic violence. And we specifically say you're a survivor, not a victim or anything else, because you have gone through so much to be where you are. And our goal is not to tell you how to get to the next step. We will provide you with resources, and we will be there to help advocate for you along the way. But it's not a cookie cutter approach. You determine what success looks like for you and your family. Wow. And it's really structured in 3 ways. It's low barrier services, meaning that it's accessible to any survivor of domestic violence and sexual abuse. So that's women, that's men, that's children, anybody. It's voluntary services. Again, we're not prescribing anything to you. You determine what success looks like for you. We will provide you with resources available to you and your family, and you can choose what that looks like for you. And it's also trauma informed. You talked a lot about the trauma that you went through and the trauma that a lot of survivors go through. And you can only imagine, if you've been dealing with this for years and years and years, and what that feels like. Did somebody believe you? And it can be, 1 out of every 4 women will experience domestic violence.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me. And this is what I love about the Me Too movement. This is what I love about watching Dr. Ford last week. I feel that we are finally in a place where people are like, this happened to me. People believe them. People want to hear your story publicly in a big way. And I think people can't ignore it anymore, and I love that we're at the point of, like, we believe you, that's so powerful, because even like 15 or 20 years ago, like things that were done in my high school or whatever, and everyone was like, would that really be? He wouldn't do that.
What do you do? Right. What do you do to upset him?
Yes. And I just love this moment that we're in, where we're really holding people accountable for the abuse because it's just, I could get really fired up. It's just it breaks my heart, that people go through sexual abuse at young ages and then live in fear of these abusers. So tell me this. I want to kind of ask you, because there's still, I think, some, although they're diminishing, but there's some stereotypes that sort of hang around there. If somebody does hit you once, are they going to hit you again?
There's a very high likelihood.
Okay.
And it goes back to that whole premise of everyone's story is different. And in some cultures, some of the survivors, let me put it this way, some of the survivors that we see, if it's steeped in your culture that this is sort of a way of life, you may not even identify that as domestic violence.
Oh, yeah.
So really working with the survivor to help break down those barriers, and that's part of Dash's low barrier model, to help them realize, okay, this is what, like, as a human being, we at Dash believe that housing is a human right that should be shared by everyone.
Absolutely.
And when we say statistics like 1 out of every 4 women will experience domestic violence and 1 out of 7 men will experience domestic violence, we also realize that domestic violence is one of the leading causes of homelessness. So when you deal with those statistics, knowing that it's not going to be just, okay, if someone hits me once, will they do it again? But realizing that comes with a whole different set of issues and things that sometimes may have been happening generationally. So, just because you saw your mother deal with that for years and years and years, and that's how you expect that you will be treated, you don't necessarily identify that as domestic violence to someone who has maybe never been exposed to something like that. And the first time that someone hits them or says or has emotionally abuses them, a red flag immediately goes up.
Right.
So, sometimes that's where that individual approach for survivors really, really comes into play, so that you can work with that survivor where they are and help them navigate that process of saying, okay, here's where you are. Where do you want to be next? And if housing is the most pressing thing, if you're fleeing, then Dash will be able to provide you with the resources to remain stably housed, either in one of our, transitional to permanent housing or emergency to transitional housing options. And then also for some survivors who come to us, they already may be housed in the community. You're so blessed to have your family be that support system. To not need or to not lose your housing option. But for some people who come to us and they're already housed, and maybe, the lease or the lease is in your abuser's name. And if maybe he's left or she's left,
right,
and now you're stuck with 3 months of back owed rent. What do you do then? Right?
Yeah.
You have a job, right? You're housed. But if you're not able to pay back owed rent, does anybody know what the average rent in DC is?
Oh my God, I'm going to say it's $2,100.
Close. It's pretty close for
Which
anywhere from a 1 to
bananas.
2 bedroom, right? And if you have that much on your rental history, one of the services that Dash provides is through our Survivor Resiliency Fund, where we will be able to provide emergency assistance to the survivor, usually available within 24 to 48 hours, to help take care of things like back owed rent, or it's flexible funding. My car broke down and I can't get to my job. Whatever the case may be, whatever is preventing that survivor from remaining safely housed, we'll be able to help them with those services.
You are always taking donations. For anybody listening today, anybody watching, they can go to dashdc.org and make a donation right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dashdc.org is always available. We always encourage people to become monthly donors.
Please go.
And
Yes.
it's, when we say that we are the largest safe housing provider for survivors of domestic violence, at any given moment, we account for about 50% of the housing inventory for survivors here in D.C. And because we are low barrier, we do serve primarily D.C. residents, but we also see survivors from Maryland and Virginia as well.
And, again, this I might not be as familiar, but it seems like we see a lot of these men in the news being held accountable, but that accountability doesn't really mean jail time. It doesn't really mean it just means maybe they're more outed. Mm-hmm. What happens on the day to day? Are a lot of these, like Cindy, the guy that abused Cindy, I mean, he never went to jail, right? No. Never saw jail time. And he's just out living his life still.
Yes.
So, is that the typical?
We do see that a lot. And one of the key things that we work with survivors is safety planning. How do you safety plan around your life? Because if you are in a situation where your abuser is still out and about, which many, many survivors are in that situation, how do you plan for that, right? If you are, living with your family, and do you need a safe word for when things are about to happen? Some of the survivors that we work with, they may have they may have talked to their neighbor across the street. If you don't see me home by a certain time at night, here's who to reach out to.
Wow.
Or if I have a son and he's 3 years old, if mommy says cookie to you, that means we need to go. Or if you're an elderly survivor and you've never really had to, you've never had to live on your own. One of the biggest things that survivors have to deal with is the power and control dynamics between them and their abuser. How do you break that, right? So if you've never had to make decisions for yourself in life, how do you start to create that pattern for yourself? How do you believe yourself? And how do you put things in place to keep yourself safe? And that's where all the survivors that we work one-on-one with an advocate. We purposely don't call them case managers because we're not there to manage your case. We're really there to be your advocate and to help, your biggest cheerleader. So they'll work one-on-one with an advocate to do safety planning, to work around these things so that no matter the situation, if your abuser is still out and about, if you have a protective order on him or her, we currently have a couple of male survivors who are living in our housing programs. So again, no matter who you are, what your background is, whether you are a lawyer who, whose husband was abusing her, and now you're having to live in our facility, and that completely changes your lifestyle. You're no different from a survivor that is coming in and has experienced homelessness for 3 generations.
Wow. Amazing. You both are so inspiring. And I really appreciate, Dash, we're going to be working together all month long. You're going to be seeing our social media posts. We're also doing the Denim for DV campaign against DV. And local businesses can pick a day in October to encourage employees to wear denim and donate $5 to Dash. You can also go to dashdc.org right now and make a donation. But the social campaign is you're going to tell us what day your office is wearing denim against DV. Tag Dash on Facebook or Instagram, which is @Dash_DC. Use the hashtag Denim Against DV. And then the Hey Frase podcast, we're going to pick one of those businesses, show up, surprise your office with cupcakes for making a donation to Dash. Ladies, thank you so much. Cindy, you are so brave. I mean, you telling your story today is just going to help so many other people. I get emails and tweets and messages all the time from people, even from 5 years ago. Hey, when you guys did this, my sister ended up being impacted by it. So, and same thing for you. We're just, Kube, we're so grateful. Thank you so much for being here and partnering with us. And we're going to have a great campaign and really get the awareness out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. And please, we look forward to the next month ahead.
Yes, we really, really do. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Again, you guys, the website is dashdc.org. So we're going to have more to come from you. And Cindy, we can't wait to follow Leslie's success.
Yes.
I think she's going to win it. I really do.
We hope so. We're really rooting for her. I mean, everybody should give her a vote,
How do we vote?
Yes.
So the instructions are going to come on Sunday. So
Okay.
I'll keep you updated on that.
Okay, good.
So maybe you can
Good.
update everybody. But just keep an eye out on her page, on her Instagram, on her Facebook. I'm going to be updating. We're going to be having watch parties for anybody that wants to come and
I will be.
join. So, yeah.
Love it. Okay, ladies.
And Sarah, before I leave, I
Yes.
just want to remind everybody again, this is October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We always encourage people to wear purple. We're going to be working with Sarah the entire month, so please wear purple. If you have any questions, please visit us on our webpage, dashdc.org. And we really want to encourage people. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but we're encouraging people to move beyond awareness and into action to be part of the solution. So please, if you need any more information, we're happy to provide that. And for anybody who needs resources for domestic violence in DC, if you know of someone, Dash hosts a weekly resource clinic at Westminster Church every Wednesday starting at 12:30 p.m. So please don't hesitate to pass that information along, and we will be there to make sure you get the resources you need.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
ladies.
Thank you.
We still have to talk tons of pop culture stories. I want AJ's opinion on this. You guys know we're obsessed with Lindsay Lohan. She seemed to have a moment over the weekend, so we're going to transition. We're going to talk about that. Also, there's a really great story, the 5 fundamental truths that will change your life. I want to discuss that. And there's also a conspiracy theory floating around about Mariah Carey and Mike Myers. And I'm dying to hear everyone's thoughts on that, if in fact it really is true. But I did want to talk, AJ, I want your opinion on this because she's been in here. I'm really sad. Ashley Darby, who you guys know from Real Housewives of Potomac, Michael Darby, her husband, has been charged with sexual assault. It's just like a crazy day where like all we're talking about is like all these like abusers.
Well, I mean, it's right on topic, but can I say this? Is it a cameraman? Like it's a male that he sexually assaulted?
Yes. And I got in a lot of trouble. I was on Fox 5 this weekend and I was talking about, I had texted Ashley, and I don't want to reveal what Ashley said to me about this incident because Ashley and I are friends. I love Ashley, and I've had personally very great experiences with both Ashley and Michael. They've been on this podcast. So I don't want to reveal what she said about it until she says that's okay to say that. But anyway, Michael Darby has been charged and with groping a cameraman, and now the shooting has been suspended. So Darby is charged with 2nd-degree assault and 4th-degree sexual misconduct. So.
And you said she hasn't said anything to you about it?
Well, she has. We've texted back and forth, but I haven't asked her if I can state what is behind this. So I don't want to read that text. But anyway, the Real Housewives of Potomac, if you're a fan, that was really upsetting to hear. But I think more is going to be coming out about that. So, okay, you guys, we love Lindsay Lohan. AJ, can you play the video, by the way? I'm obsessed with this video. I'm obsessed with her fake accent.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
So over the weekend, if you didn't see this, I wake up on Twitter Saturday morning. Lindsay Lohan is trending, and they said that she was basically trying to kidnap kids that she thought were being trafficked. Okay. Only come to find out they really weren't being trafficked. They were just with their parents. However, the video, she's trying to speak Arabic and then in an accent, and she's like, come with me, kids. Like, it will be okay. I'm here to help. Everyone is like, what the hell? And then everyone was basically saying on Twitter, is she even speaking Arabic? Like, tell us what she's saying. It was so freaking bizarre. I can't even get over, like... I was addicted to watching it.
Yes, no, it's
Can
so
we
good.
bring it up?
I'm trying to pull
Or
it
do
up
we have
right
any
now.
video?
It's just taking its always.
I know. I have a slow internet today too, so it's not. You can bring it up while you're doing that. I'm gonna read you the 5 fundamental truths that'll change your life. This article was pretty fascinating to me. Popped up over the weekend, and the basic need of ours in life is met by work. We cannot deny the fact that we, of course, have to work to live, but we can become aware of ourselves when and how we start the work and what we can do to be changed to make the day more pleasurable and fruitful. The best things in life do not come easily, according to this article. They come with your awareness to self. Life and business have one thing in common, that's questions. They both run on questions and how you find answers to them. Regularly questioning whether you are headed in the right direction will certainly take you to the goal set. And I love this because I don't know about you guys, but like I go along in my career and with this podcast and everything, and I'm like, things are going amazing. And then the next day I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm spinning my wheels. I'm wasting so much time on all this crap that I shouldn't be doing. So here's what they say. These are the 5 fundamental truths that will change your life when you do some inner searching. Success follows failure. When you start trying and testing yourself, the failure is the first outcome to be faced. Failure comes with learnings or experiences that can change you for life. They also say be around people who are, quote, inspiring. I totally agree with this. I can't be around Debbie Downers anymore. And it sucks because that also forces you to like value your friendships. It's good to be surrounded with people who are as charged up and want to make a difference for themselves as you are. It's good to have people who are not afraid to try unconventional ways and are always optimistic. Those people will help you be more optimistic. Life is for living. One life to live is a fact. How and where you live is your choice. It is the life that you have created. It's a choice that is made. They say thinking twice right now, rethink and change the course that nobody can stop you. Also, they say letting go. Humans have a tendency to hold on to the negative emotions strongly than the positive emotions. I feel like that's the takeaway from today's show. We tend to hold on to grief, hurt, humiliation, hate, and anger. When you can overcome those, you can completely move ahead. And then they also say uncertainty is the only certain thing. Oh, my God. I wish I could really adopt that. Despite planning and working for a long period of time on something, you might be faced with situations which you were not prepared for. The only choices are to curb about what is happening or to give up because of what is happening or to accept that everything is uncertain constantly. Oh,
that's like so scary.
These articles
to know,
make me have more anxiety.
They're supposed to like calm everybody, but instead we're just getting even more scared. I'm able to pull up the Lindsay Lohan. Not
Play
this
it.
This is off topic.
Come with me. I'll save you. I'll save you. Okay, do we hear this? I love this video so much.
Look what's happening. They're trafficking children.
Wait, aren't you American?
Shut up. I won't leave until I take you.
That is Lindsay Lohan speaking.
I won't leave until I take you.
Now I know who you are. Don't fuck with me.
What?
Hey, kids. Wallah. This is the Arab. This is not Arab.
What? Okay, can we get to the part where the woman punches her in the face? That's my favorite part. Probably the live stream went down, right? Did your internet go down, AJ?
Oh, probably, most likely.
Okay, it's fine. Anyway, that gives you the sense of like, I don't know where that accent is coming from, but people were flipping out. And I thought over the weekend, I saw this, I was like, is this a bad time?
You're ruining Arab culture by doing this.
What is that real language?
Shalom alak. I don't know. People
taking these children, they want to go. They were trying to run me.
Oh, this is after the woman punched her in the face.
Okay, we're giving you the end, but let me go to where she punches her.
This is really sad. Oh, shit.
Lindsay Lohan is down. I repeat, Lindsay Lohan is down.
The kids head off with their parents who've got like suitcases.
I mean, I love what she was trying to do, though. She was trying to protect these children, but it ends up being their parents. She thought that she was stopping human trafficking from happening.
Wait, my question is,
why is she Facebook Living this? Like, you're not going to get anything done by
like
Facebook
it's
Living.
not funny. Like, I feel like
It isn't
Lindsay
funny.
Lohan's probably like gone off her rocker again. But then I thought, isn't this a bad time for us to promote our T-shirts? Like, is this a bad lead in to the fact that we're selling "This is how you throw a party in Mykonos" bitch shirts?
Guess we didn't think that one through.
Luis is like, yeah, it's a bad time. I wanted to post that over the weekend, but I was like, oh, maybe people are going to be upset that we're like capitalizing on who knows what went wrong.
Tomorrow we won't even be talking about this, but it's crazy.
Did anyone see the story over the weekend of Mariah Carey that there's a conspiracy theory that Mariah Carey is actually the serial killer Mike Myers? Did anyone? And by the way, I hope you've seen this. She looks exactly like fucking Mike Myers. Has everyone seen this?
I'm not going to lie, but she really does.
Oh my God, pull this up. It's a conspiracy theory, but now people are saying that Mariah Carey actually plays Mike Myers in the movies. I believe this. She looks uncanny like Mike Myers.
So accurate. I'm still, once again, trying to pull up the picture.
We're having really slow internet. If you haven't seen this, by the way, you can just Google it. But people, like the lips look exactly the same. The cheeks look exactly the same. It's crazy. Say I look like Mariah one more time. The new Halloween movie starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Nick Castle comes out on October 19th. Meanwhile, Mariah Carey just released her new single, GTFO, off her forthcoming album, which is expected to be released later this year. I think she has more than 4 albums. I think they mean forthcoming, like upcoming.
Not fourth. I think she's been around for like 50 years.
I was like, forthcoming? Okay, forthcoming, like coming up.
Has
okay,
she
sorry.
had plastic surgery? Is
Yes,
that right? Okay.
of course.
Okay, that's why she looks like that.
Oh my God, 1,000%. Anybody catch Kanye West over the weekend on SNL? People were very upset. He continues to give speeches where he supports President Trump. He also talks about President Trump liberating people and bringing business back to the U.S. Kanye West now reveals, too, he no longer wants to be Kanye West. It's Ye. Who is still following Kanye? Are people still, sorry, Ye. Who's like, is anyone on the Ye bandwagon? I don't think Ye, and Ye was on SNL.
He was on SNL.
With Lil Pump.
LOL.
They're dressed as a Fiji water bottle and a Poland Spring sparkling water bottle. To me, those costumes were not pure genius. That is when the music is so shitty that you have to distract from how bad a fucking lyricist you are now. So now you dress as like some no-name water bottles. Like, it's so embarrassing. Poor Lil Pump. Like, Lil Pump looked like he was out there and he just smoked so much marijuana with coke right before he came out there to do that. It was like so embarrassing. That's what I would do if I were on SNL, because I would not have a talent to sing. Like, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to dress up as a spiked seltzer bottle where everybody takes a sip. Like, it was just so bad.
But what characters did they portray? Did they have them in skits and stuff?
No, Kanye just did that song that he does with Lil Pump, the one. No, he wasn't in any skits that I watched. I watched like the first half of SNL. I was obsessed with Matt Damon as Brett Kavanaugh, and people were really upset about that.
Well, my hope is that they bring back Justin Timberlake, because he was like the best, right? He like knows how to act. My dick in a box. Like, that's what we really need to be seeing here.
I just don't think Ye is all that relevant anymore. I guess to me, I think Ye is trying to chase like Graduation album, and I just think that he's not a good singer anymore. He's not a good rapper. He's not really relevant. So now he's got to dress up, sadly, as a bottle.
Perrier bottle.
Yeah, a
Boy, vey. I mean, I don't even know what to talk about these people. I just can't. He made himself relevant by, getting the shoe line, staying with Kim Kardashian, having, how many babies do they have now? 3? The Kardashians fuck like bunnies.
They have 3 kids.
Jeez Louise.
I actually feel bad for Ye, because I think that
he's misunderstood.
Well, I mean, you had some of the biggest songs. Gold Digger, amazing song. I was just talking to Dan about this morning. My thing is, though, if you know Jamie Foxx's story, like Jamie Foxx is the one that went to Ye back when he was Kanye West and said, I've got to be on this song. Like, let me just like collaborate with you. Yep. Let me do it. And they did. And I feel like nobody wants to collaborate with Ye anymore. So
this is crazy. He's a little off the
except
rocker.
for Lil Pump. And does anyone care about Lil Pump? No. Poor Lil Pump. I mean, Lil Pump's like, fuck. I'm on SNL. I guess this will be it for my career. So I'll dress up as a Fiji water bottle that someone spray painted.
That someone spray painted in the
Poor
back.
Lil Pump.
The stagehand. What does Lil Pump stand for? Lil Pump.
I don't know. Everybody is Little Pump, and then or everyone's Little Xan, Little Uzi, Little Pump, and they have to have tattoos on their face. They do. I'm so glad I'm not a hip hop artist today. Oh my God, can you imagine? What would I have on my face? I don't know. I'd have all these tattoos, and knowing me, you know,
on your cheek.
They'd spell it backwards or something. So, you know, it'd be like
probably a penis like going into your mouth.
Oh, completely. Yes, I would actually do that. That was a really good one. I'd do the dick on my cheek.
No, you would not.
Yes, I 100% would if I were Little Sarah. Yes.
Lil Sarah?
Yeah, Little Frase.
Okay, this is revealing how white we are. This is...
Speak for yourself. You guys can weigh in. Do you follow Yee? Penny says, have you seen the new video of Yee? He looks like he's wearing a Minecraft costume. Oh, maybe that's it.
That's the Halloween costume.
Travis says, LMFAO. This is hilarious. Thank you. Clay says, some couple really needs to get out on Halloween as Brett Kavanaugh and a giant bottle of beer. Brilliant. I like that as a Halloween costume. We're all about the offensive Halloween costumes.
He loves his brewskis, guys.
He does love his brewskis. And lastly, before we do Pineapple Mail every Monday on the show, Urban Outfitters is now selling. Did you see this, AJ? They're selling a influencer Halloween costume that's just leggings and a bra. Some people are calling it the dumbest Halloween costume ever invented. For $59, you can basically look like Kim Kardashian. You have big sunglasses, black hat, long blonde hair. You're in a bra and leggings with some horrible, ugly sneakers, and you're just an influencer.
Yes, I saw this. It's actually ridiculous. You can obviously make this by yourself with your own wardrobe. Why do you pay $60 to look like Kim Kardashian?
I don't know, but you know, I might have to use this one mostly because I wait till the last minute to like do anything.
Oh, to find your costume for
Yeah.
Halloween. But
Absolutely.
please do not dress up as this.
Every Monday, we do all of your Pineapple Mail stories. Your Pineapple Mails are all of your advice questions answered, everything you need to know in your life. You can always email Sarah, SARAH, at heyfrase.com. I have two actually really good ones. Sarah, I'm a loyal listener and follower since your time on the radio. Just wanted to say I read How Not to Freak Out When You're 25 and All of Your Friends Are Engaged, again on your blog, heyfrase.com. I was close to 25 when you published it, and now I'm close to 30 in the same boat, but it was exactly what I needed to read again. Thanks for sharing yourself and your insights. Love you always, Robin. So I wrote, I have to go back and look at this because this article I wrote was like a couple of years ago, probably when I was like 30 and still not engaged. Now I'm north of 35 and I'm wondering why the fuck am I not engaged?
And 6 years later, we are here.
I got to update the blog and write, when you're closer to 40 and you're still not engaged.
Just keep updating it every 5
and then
years.
It will be ... Now I'm too tired to flip out. Like I am too. I go to bed. I want internally. I'm like, God, am I ever going to find am I ever going to get married? Am I ever going to find like true love? Is Dan going to like really want to like stay with me? And then, you know, I think, oh, well, it's 7:30.
It's like Paul Wharton. I should be on my second divorce by now.
Paul should be on his second divorce by now. He 100% should. You can go and read that article. Essentially, it's just, you shouldn't flip out. You cannot compare yourself to other people in any aspect of your life. And this goes for you, AJ. She comes in today. She's like, Busy Phillips has a show? What am I doing? I go, you can't compare.
It's because I love Busy Phillips and she's like one of my idols.
Let's see. I wanted to find this one. Maybe it might be too late. But my advice always is, and you know what? Dan gave me the best advice, which is this. He always says to me when I get upset and I'm like, oh, so-and-so's doing this or they're doing that or they're having success becoming a reporter or whatever. He always says to me, Sarah, is that what you want to do? Do you want to go out and do you want to be a fashion blogger? Do you want to be a reporter? Do you want to? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do any of those jobs. He's like, that's why you have to stay the course because you are on your own journey and path. It's all in God's time. It's already happening. And AJ, I feel like, you know what? Everything that unfolds in your life, like when I went on HBO, I had a girlfriend of mine because I'm going to be on the upcoming season of Crashing. And she's like, that was just God showing you your future. And I'm like, oh, that's exactly what it was.
Wait, that's really cool.
Oh my God.
Like as in like.
She just said that when things like that happen.
Just randomly.
Because I think to myself, when I left that, I was so energized. I was like, this is what I want every day. I want to work on a set where it's like so high end, where like they just have catering coming around, like. Oh, well, don't we all? Feeding you. Like, I'm like, and she's like, that was God showing you like your future. Like you're onto that. Like you've created that. And like more things are coming.
And just wait the course out. All I want is shrimp with cocktail sauce served around. Like if we had somebody walking around with shrimp cocktail, I would die. That's like my dream.
But I think that's so good, and it goes with relationships too. Yep. You can't you cannot copy what your friends have. And
It's so
God bless
true.
them. Like, good for them that they found love. But relationships are hard. They're really, really difficult. So you shouldn't flip out if you're 30 or 35. And now I feel like it's so great. Like, people are finding their independence, and it's so nice to be like, support yourself on your own 2 feet. You want someone that just adds to your life, and you want someone that's already mostly healed when they come to you. You know, when you've got to take on other people's problems.
Oh, you do not want
really
baggage.
hard.
You do not want baggage.
All right, I'll save this one for next week. This is from Lynette. It's a long one. She's looking to follow her dreams and passion, and she wants to know how to apply it. But it's a long one. I want to kind of sum it up for you.
All right, maybe you can give us a sneak peek.
Well, she essentially is. She believes that her calling has something to do with traveling and exploring. But essentially, she says the process of finding that job is hard, and she is now currently applying for new jobs. But when she finds herself going to write the cover letters for these jobs, she can't even do it.
That's because cover letters suck. Who the hell likes to write a cover letter? As soon as I get a cover letter, I'm like, all right, well,
Lynette.
fuck this job.
Oh, God. I didn't know the mail actually came out of a pineapple. Jennifer, yes. So people are watching on Facebook Live. The
That's why
reason
we
we call it pineapple
pineapple.
mail. Yeah. We turned an ice bucket that's shaped like a pineapple into...
Pineapple
Oh,
mail.
it's like one of those relaxing, like, chime things.
Now we just need sage.
We're not allowed to burn that in here anymore.
We did it once.
You guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much for following this show. Leave a review on iTunes. Go to Hey Frase Podcast. Tell somebody who has never heard about this show, because we're going to be more famous than we even know what to do with. Why? Because I was on HBO for a hot fucking 2 seconds, and God has shown me the light. Come to the Church of Hey Frase, where everyone gets a fame, okay? This is where it's headed for the future. I love you so much. Be sure to share this show. We're going to be getting a Facebook, YouTube collaboration show very soon. Why? Because I was on HBO for 3 seconds with Pete Holmes, and the Lord has shown me. Love you guys so much. Bye, everybody.